CEOS is still looking strong and still moving on our implied projections. Let's go ahead and go over the details for the coming sessions as the opportunities approach. What is good, you guys? This is ARCa coming at you with a CEOS technicals and raw price action thread of analysis on this fine Taco Tuesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCab. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. All right, so we're looking at CEOS on the 5-day chart here, and just to update the new viewers, whoever is coming into the channel as a new viewer, this is the ascending channel that we've been riding for a few years, actually actually over a decade. So this is starting in about 2009 to today. Okay, so this is a macro style example of a formation or a trend that we can be in. Okay, so in this case, our touchdown happened just recently, and we have now opened up a new 5-day candle iteration. Okay, so the price action is moving as we expected, and now the opportunities are approaching. Let's go ahead and go over those details now. Okay, so we on the daily chart in particular, we do have a broadening descending wedge, of which it's found its true breakout on test number 5 instead of the usual test number 4. Okay, so we did make it to the top area of our expectations, which was about the 3.618, just over. Let's see, that was a high of about 0.355, so 3 cents, right? So we did make that upside thrust, and we are now retracing per our expectations. Okay, so this touch to the bottom right here where we faced, let's see, it looks like it went to about 214, 215, 2 cents, of course. I don't find that to be the reaccumulation area before a continuation to the upside. I actually still have in my mind, and I am still eyeballing. Pardon me. Yeah, I'm still eyeballing the area of about 0202 or 0201, right? 2 cents. And the bottom side of this gap here on the daily of about 0190, okay, or at the 1 fib. All right, so that's still the area that I'm looking for accumulation period. Also, for the validation of our newly converted resistance of the broadening descending wedge into support. Okay, so as soon as we do validate that as a form of valid support, we can then make the move towards the upside. Okay, so now if we're playing by the playbook rules, I'm talking about just per a descending broadening wedge, the typical way to trade this, right? So I've traded this formation several times, and they all generally find their take profit area at the genesis of the formation itself. So here you're looking at the genesis located at about 547. 5 cents, of course. So that is usually the take profit. I'm not saying that we're gonna go there. I'm just saying that that's typically how this descending broadening wedge is traded. Okay, so upon the validation of our newly converted resistance into then support, then we could start looking into making a trek up through all the obstacles that we have before us. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to the next chart, as it will be the RSI. Okay, so we did notice on the daily time frame, and this was actually yesterday, we did confirm 2 drives of regular bearish divergence, which of a hidden bearish divergence, my apologies, which usually happens when momentum, in this case represented by RSI, relative strength index, is making a series of higher highs on the pivots, just like you see here, and price action is making a series of higher lows. Okay, so this was exactly of lower highs, of course, sorry. So that's exactly what's happening right over here, and we can see that we confirmed 2 drives of that, and they are now being realized to that downside. Please notice that the daily RSI is still suggesting a downside continuation. This is the RSI signal, purple line, and the pink line represents the 14-day moving average. So just so everyone is clear, a divergence is the opposition of price action versus momentum. And in this case, remember, momentum, we just talked about it, represented by this indicator, relative strength index. Okay, so now let's go ahead and open up a multi-pane so that we can gain that true edge for the coming sessions, right? Okay, so we're gonna start it off just like we always do with the 30-minute immediate short term, and you can see that it's already suggesting a little bit of a downside. It's slightly bearish and slightly bullish. Okay, now slightly bearish. Why? Because the 14-day moving average is obviously above us, and also because it's pivoted towards the downside. Slightly bullish because of the position that we're laying in right now. Please refer to this diagram. Let me just go ahead and make a quick adjustment here. Here we go. So please refer to this diagram. These four zones are actually located right on the chart right over here, okay? So you can see that that we're right in the shallow areas of the bear weakness percentile. So as long as we do maintain ourselves here, we can actually expect a pull right back into the following zone. So in this case, we do have the resistance from both the opposition gravitational zone and also the 14-day moving average. Okay, so that would likely start to continue this downward ascent using the 14-day moving average as a form of resistance before a continuation to the downside. All right, bi-hourly is slightly bullish as well, which is well in accordance with the 30-minute time frame. And now the very curious one that we've actually been talking about quite often is actually just yesterday, my apologies. It is the 6-hour RSI. And why is that? Is because I'm just going to go ahead and move this line right here, because yesterday I was explaining the potential of us using the 6-hour time frame 14-day simple moving average as a form of support. So now that I have this line already drawn, I'm going to go ahead and now remove it to show you if we did use it as a support or not. So we'll delete, and it looks like we have. Okay, so we definitely used the 14-day moving average as a support. Now we're suggesting a continuation to the upside, particular to the 6-hour. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move along to the daily chart, as the daily chart still has some correction to look into. Okay, so this is quite a distance away, which is honestly the reason that is making me give a bias towards that downside target of about 1 cent, near 2 cents, 0190. So the distance from this area here where we're closing in at market close at 0230 to be exact, to this point right here seems to be relevant to the space that the daily time frame has to the 14-day moving average. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to the bi-daily chart, as there appears to be some things to look into. As you can see, we are still suggesting a massive upside here on the bi-daily. The 3-day time frame is still suggesting upside, and we still have a ways away for an upside continuation. 5 days still showing upside thrust. The weekly is also showing an upside continuation, and the bi-weekly is still showing upside continuation. Okay, even into the monthly. Wow. And yeah, so it stops at about the monthly. So I am essentially looking for a continuation to the upside after this corrective price movement that's happening as of late. Okay, so again, I'm not saying that the potential to fall beneath this bottom zone of 0190 is impossible. In fact, if there is a wick or a flash wick like these right over here to try to kind of stop out some longs, it would have very likely come back down slightly past the 0618 at 0167, maybe even touch the 5 pip at 0160. So that would likely be the area of accumulation before a bounce to the upside. All right, so yeah, this is essentially what we're looking for. We're looking for either the fill of this gap here. It doesn't have to be filled, but I'm saying since we're so close to it, then the probabilities of it being filled are kind of greater. Okay, so please know I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I can't suggest for you to buy or sell any assets. Okay, I need you to do your own DD, and everything will be just fine. All right, you guys, if you feel compelled to reach out to me, don't hesitate to do so. I will leave the links in the description below to say hi to me on Twitter. I will also leave the Discord memberships page there. You can just go ahead and click that and join in and talk to some very fine, intelligent people within the Discord, okay? So I think this is it for the video. Yeah, so I wish you well. I wish you a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.